Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, huge massive thank you for the support. So coming back again with this Enchanted winter kit. This is the Frozen Forest one. You've got the sort of rabbit or hare, the stag, beautiful stag, smaller rabbit and the little squirrel. You've got two lovely holographic borders, 1, 2, 3 sentiments on this one. And then you've got the insert to match with the ultimate kit. You've got the little insert for the rabbit. You've got this beautiful foiling on the snowflakes on this rabbit here. And then on the printed one, you've sort of got that icy sort of feel to it. So I thought we'd have a little play with these today. And let's pop that out of the way. I'm going to pop that to the side. So the first thing I'm going to do is bring in a 5x7 tent fold card blank. This is one that I've made from a A3 piece. And I'm going to bring in my scoreboard. And I'm going to turn this into an easel card. So we are 7 inches across there, so I just need to put in a score line at 3.5. And then that means our card is going to stand like that. Okay, so you've got that sort of shape to it. And then we can come in and cut some layers. So I'm going to bring in my trimmer. I've got some of that holographic Miri cardstock again that I'm going to use. So I need a piece 5x7 for the bottom. So let's just move those over a little bit. Not as organised as I should be. Piece of here there, not quite sure where that's come from. Move. There we go. Nothing wants to move. Okay, so I'm just going to take 2 notches off that 5 and 2 notches off the 7. Again, saving these little bits because they're great for punching or using for a sentiment if you've got a sentiment that you've stamped yourself. So that's going to fit nicely onto there. And then this top piece is going to be a 3.5 by 5. So I'm going to go 2 notches under the 5. Again, another piece that we're going to keep. And then 3.5 minus 2 notches. And then that piece should fit onto that top piece there. We've got a nice square piece there. I'm not sure what that is. 2 notches under the 5. Let's just take a little bit off that, and then it is a square piece. There's 2 notches under the 5 all the way around. And I possibly can use that with the little square book. Okay, so next thing I need to do is for the top piece, I'm not using any of the cardstock. I'm going to bring in one of these printed papers, and these do cut really nicely on here on the trimmer, these glossy papers. It's the insert one that doesn't. So I'm just going to cut that down to 4 3/4 and then 3 1/4. So we're just going to get that little bit of the sort of bottom of that brush. So again, I'll keep that because that may matte and layer onto there. Now, the other thing I need to do is grab my guillotine, and I need to take the insert, and I'm going to be using the stag. So I'm going to cut this down to 4 3/4 in length. Now my trimmer only goes up to 6 inches here, so what I'm going to do is just pop this onto my mat. I'm going to grab a little pencil. I'm just going to put a mark there where it's 6 3/4, and I'm going to chop that there. And then what I'll do is just check that against this backdrop. It just needs to take a tiny little piece more. quicker than just taking little bits and then ending up with a big mess at the end because you've gone too far. Just a little tip of using your mat there. You use the things that you have. You know, obviously if you haven't got a mat, then you can always use a ruler, you know, it's no big deal. Okay, so the glues I'm going to be using today, my usual glues. So I've got the Kalau all-purpose, which is the alcohol-based glue. I've got the Kalau tacky glue, which is the water-based glue. Just got a bit of that pin stuck to the top of it for some reason. And I'm also going to be using, on the papers, I'm going to be using this dotty tape pen, which is the Hunkydory one. Okay, so let's go ahead and use that dotty tape pen on each of these corners, and then I can use my all-purpose to give me that wiggle room time that I like. Although saying that, the dotty tape pen, it does allow you to move for a certain amount of time, and but I always think with it being a sort of thinner paper, it's better just to give it that go. But that's looking quite nice and icy as it is. And then we've got our insert, which again is paper. So again with the all-purpose, just a good covering. But you don't want it to be splurging out the sides because that may take the foil off your holographic card. Just the type of glue that is. So just going to float that into position and then press down on those dots. I'm just going to give that a good press down just so there's no lumps under there for when anybody comes to write on it. Okay, so let's pop these together. So now we're going cardstock to cardstock. I can just go back to my favourite glues. Onto the back. Oops. Everything's a bit wibbly wobbly today for some reason. Oh, thanks for all the messages about me broken toe. It's doing better. It's still pretty black, which is not great, but it's funny how much you realise your toes are in danger when you try not to bump it on every piece of furniture in the house. And of course we're decorating for Christmas at the moment, so there's boxes that we brought down from the attic and all sorts everywhere where there wouldn't normally be quite so much around. It's a perilous journey just walking around the house at the minute. I did drop a tube of face wash, and you know, like when you see it going, and I was like, please don't, because it was just right above my foot, my bad foot, and I was like, please don't let it hit that bad toe, please, because I knew it would really hurt. And then it like hit the toe next to it, and I was like, oh thank God, and then I went that was the pain from that one. But it's mending in it's in the way it's supposed to, so it's just a case of keeping it safe at the minute. But let's just pop our stag out. Well, there's an extra sentiment here. Have a wonderful day. I think I might take that one actually, because then this can be a birthday card or a Christmas card. It doesn't necessarily have to be one, so I'm going to scream one or the other. So let's just take this. Where's my knife? There's my knife. Here we are. Just ease that one out. Did anybody see those circular rocking cards this morning? The foiled one. I think they only lasted a couple of minutes. You might have seen them on Hobby Maker yesterday if you watch Hobby Maker. They're very nice. I didn't get them, I wasn't quick enough. But when they come back, I'm definitely going to get some and need to make a template of it. because I think they're just great for when you've got a little round circular topper left over. Okay, so for this border, which is going to go across the bottom, is going to be our stopper. So I'm just going to cut this down to 4 3/4. And that should fit all the way along there. I'm going to keep that bit because I might come in a tiny bit for, might come in for a little corner or something. Okay, so let's ease these out. Yeah, there was a lot of lovely steppers and things this morning. So if you like to make your steppers and you want them already foiled for you and or just already prepared for you so you can just whip them up, then I think there was still some in stock when the show was over, but I don't think they'd expected everything to go quite as fast. Okay, so let's grab, we'll leave that bit for the minute. I'm going to use some 1mm foam pads on this piece here. Now obviously I want to keep this within the real estate of the card. You know, I don't want to be going up here or anything, even though that would look fantastic up there. You wouldn't be able to get it in an envelope, so I want to keep it so that it's going to be within my card so that I can still get that in a 5x7 envelope. I think I'm going to come down about halfway and I'm going to go off to the left. So let's just cut some of these pads up and we're going to go, I emptied my little bin as well. That's a couple of things I forgot to do before I started today. Usually I empty my little, I've got little bars here that I put these little bits of the back ends on. And let's just pop that one back on there. We'll use that on the sentiment in a minute. Okay, so now we can peel these off. And I cut all my nails off today, which was a bit sad, but they get to a certain length and then they just split because of the thyroxine thyroid deficiency that I have. It's not a big deal, but just one of the things that you notice as it gets worse. Okay, so a little bit of tacky glue just so that it gives us that little bit of wiggle room time, especially going onto this paper. And actually go just a little bit further. You can use your T-square to make sure it's straight if you want to. I'm just going to trust that there. Let me grab some 2mm foam pads. I'm going to have to get some out of the pack. So, these ones seem to be on a plastic back rather than the paper back. Like these ones are easy to tear. These ones are not so much. So just cut that a little bit there. Put that up there. And then if I grab that frame, I'm going to pop it back in for a second. And just to make it easy for me, I'm going to pop my 2mm foam pads on here. And I know that's moving around, but as long as I'm staying within it, I know I'm not going to have anything coming over the top. And it also means I can put a nice amount of coverage there to give that all the support I think it needs. There we go. So now we can pop that out, back onto my little holder there. And then I just have to try and get my nail underneath. Not going to work, let's use the knife. It's literally just because I've just literally cut my nails about 10 minutes ago. So I'm not accustomed myself to having short nails again, but I will get there. Okay, so let's just pop some tacky glue on all the way along. I love a little easel card and a stepper card. I think they're my favourite sort of types of card, really. Let's pop you back in a minute. Sorry to keep popping you away and getting you out again, but just going to help me line up. Nicely in there. There we go. And then I can just pop that out gently. Okay, so now we've got our little pop-up bit that comes above, so like so. And then I'm going to take those 2mm foam pads again. I think as long as I'm quite tidy with these, I should be able to just use them as they are. What I would say is you probably want something 2mm or above as a stopper, I think, just so that you get that nice amount of space for your edge to hide under or to nestle under to stop it falling forward. Right. Oops. Again, pulling those backs off. A little bit of glue. I'm probably going to end up putting this right through the middle of his face, but let's see. Let's try and go just above his antlers there. So we've got his beautiful face coming through. And then I think I'm going to pop this down here, but I am going to do it just on a 1mm because I still want there to be room to write on here as well. You know how I am about making sure it's still a working card, because otherwise, unless you're giving it to someone who knows what type of card it is, then they're not going to know who it's from, because you wouldn't be able to write on it. Okay, so let's just grab those and those. These should be quite nice quick cards today, I think. I'm just going to pop that right in that corner there. So we've got that there. So that's how we are looking at the moment. Obviously you could come in and do a little bow with some navy ribbon, would be fantastic on there. I'm not going to do that today. So I don't know if I want to do silver mirror or whether I want to do some of these sort of shiny gems. They're quite they're cut quite angular, I think, so just to pick up the light. So let's use a couple of these today just to do something a little different and to use them up. So I'm going to go with 1, 2 and 3. So I'll have that huge one. I'm going to go down, miss a step and then go to the next one down after that. I think these ones came from Temu. So we've got that one there, and then I'm going to come in, I think, just with 2 of these smaller ones again. We're going to pop them down here just for the 5. And there, 1 and 2. Okay, and there we have our first card. Just bring that around so you can see. There you go. So as you can see, looking quite nice, like that one. So I'm just going to get set up for card number 2. Okay, so from a second card, I thought I would do just like a little step card. It's one of my favourite ones. But I'm going to add something to it just to make it a little different to the ones I have done lately. So I'm going to take a piece of this 6x12 cardstock, 300 GSM, and because I've got the small board, I'm going to score at 4, and then I'm just going to rotate that and score at 2 and at 4. And that's just going to give me 2 little steps. And sorry, my chair is super creaky today. Start there, no, not just go that way. And go that way. There we go, that way. French down that way so it stays. And you're going to end up with that sort of weird M shape, and that will sit like so. So you've got that back piece, and then you've got that piece there. Now, if everything fits in the real estate of this card, it would be 6x4. Because we've got 4 inches this way and 6 inches across. Probably just have to have a slightly larger envelope because of the thickness of it, but 6x4 is where it would be. But I'm going to go higher than that, so it will be a normal 6x6 envelope by the time I've finished. Okay, so let me grab my trimmer. We'll put this to the side. And I'm going to use that same Rainbow Sparkle Miri card, and so I've got 2 pieces here. I've got a piece that's 4x6 and a piece that's 2x6. So I'm going to cut the smaller piece first of all, and we're going to cut that 2 notches under the 2 by 2 notches under the 6. Again, we've got a piece there for punching bits out or matting and layering sentiments on. And then my second piece is going to be 2 notches under that 4. Let's put that in there. It's too big a piece to go in my bit box. And then 2 notches under 6. Again, we've got a bigger piece there that we'll keep for another time. So they will fit onto that back piece there, and then that front piece there. Now again, I'm not going to use so much of the cardstock. I'm going to use this paper again. So I'm going to start by cutting this at 5 3/4. And then I'm going to take the 1 3/4 piece, which will fit onto there. And then I'm going to take the 3 3/4 piece. So I've got some more of that path at the back. Okay, now the other thing I'm going to bring in, so when I cut the 5x7 cards out of a piece of A3, I had this piece left over of one of them, so I'm just going to cut this down to 6 inches. We'll get rid of both of those, and let's see how wide is it. It is 1 3/4. So I'm going to take a piece of that Rainbow Sparkle card again. So it was 1 3/4 ish. So I'm just going to take a piece that's 2 notches under that. And we're going to go 2 notches under the 6. I might have to cut it a little bit at the side just because it was just under. I think that'd be fine. And then on the foiled cardstock, I've got this beautiful little snowflake piece, so I'm going to cut that off. So that was it 1 3/4 minus 2 notches? Yeah. So we're going to go to 1 1/2. Cut along there, and then 5 3/4. And hopefully that should fit rather nicely onto there. Yes, it does. So we've got that lovely bit of foiled. I'm going to keep that piece because I don't know if I'll use that elsewhere. Okay, so let's do some assembling. So let's do these papers first of all. So again, I'm going to be using my Dotty tape pen, which I have been using more and more, I have to say. It's oops, it's slightly addictive. So just a bit on that, I just didn't want it to go anywhere else. And it does rub away and take the dirt with it, which is fantastic. Yeah, I have been using it more and more. Slightly addictive little craft tool really. And the more you use it, the more confident you get with it. But it's one of those things. It wouldn't be. I don't think I'd be able to craft with just it. That's just not the way I craft. But you know, I am using it more and more. Especially on these little pieces like this, it's great for just getting that instant sort of stick while the other glue settles and glues nice and solid for me. But don't they just look really lovely and frosty? Honestly, just gorgeous. These are cardstock, so I can use my normal glues with these. So I'm just going to go ahead. What's this glue on the outside? I actually haven't been in here since my last little video, so just because there's so many things under my desk, I am worried about banging my feet, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be, to be honest. So definitely going to be in here tomorrow and hopefully this evening, depending on little hens, of course. Here we go. Let's just pop that into there. It just looks nice, doesn't it? I like that. Okay, let's go ahead and pop this together. So both of our glues, because we're now on the cardstock at the back, go into the cardstock of the card. And obviously if you wanted to, you could just cut this out of this card base out of Adorable Scoreable, and then you'd already have a colour behind there. And then if you wanted to, you could maybe leave out a layer, maybe leave out the holographic layer and just have a coloured layer behind. In and down, and I'm not looking at the bottom. I don't care what it looks like at the bottom of this piece. I'm just lining it up at the top and the sides, because that's what you're going to see when the card is open. You can see it just looks like we've got this path going on, and the card will open up a little bit as well, so it's looking quite nice. Okay, now this piece here, what I'm going to do is just take some of these glue dots, just because this is going to be the easiest way to glue this down, and I'm going to pop some on that side, and I'm just going to glue this to the front of my card, and I'm going right down to the bottom because I know this is 6 by 6. If I had cut it shorter, then I would be able to lift that up a little bit, but I do want it to open as normal with my card, so we're just going to glue that on. And now I've got that little piece there bridging that, and I'm going to end up putting my topper to that. Okay, and I know that that's 6 by 6, so I know that that line that's sort of there is the real estate of my card. It's really easy to see with that little piece there. And this is like I think they call it like a faux stepper card, maybe, something like that. Okay, so let's grab our little rabbit. No, it's not little, he's huge. No, I want the rabbit. Really thinking about using the squirrel instead, so I might pop the rabbit out, use the squirrel in the middle because they will fit. Come here, Mr. Rabbit. There we go. And then I've got a happy birthday, and I'm going to go with that Merry Christmas, I think. I might even take this button snowflake out as well. Okay. Right, so sorry, Mr. Rabbit. I'm going to take you out of here, and you are going to be saved for another day. I'm going to have our squirrel in there instead. So what I want to do is bring that across there, but I also need to make sure I've got enough spaces to put my pads for my squirrel as well. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, and I don't do this very often, is, I don't know if I've got an old frame here. Let's use this big one here. I know it's going to seem a bit wasteful, but I've not used it yet and it's been there for quite a while, so I'm just going to cut a piece off there, put that to the side, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that piece off that's annoying me. I'm just going to pop some glue dots on. I'm just going to pop this there, and there. What that's going to do is just even up these sides a little bit here, because we've got 1, 2, 3 layers of cardstock there. So by doing that, when I put these pads on in a minute, what I should find is that by putting a 1mm foam pad on, it should be more in level with that side. So let's go ahead and do that. What I'm going to do is cut this down, maybe, and what I'm going to do is use that gold to be my sort of guide for where these are going, and then I can have a look and see if I need to put anything else on. See how it fits quite nicely there, and that's perfect. Okay, so what I can do is take the backs off here, and it's just that 1mm pad wouldn't have quite been enough. So if you've got any like scraps of white card sort of that you know, you could use anything, even if it's just from the packaging of a stamp or something. Okay, so I'm just going to pop some tacky glue on there, and I'm going to bring that to around about there, and then I'm going to do the same again on this piece. I should be able two strips about. So that's, okay, what I'm going to do is just put some into the back of there, and it doesn't really matter whether I put them foil side up or down, because my foam pads will stick to it. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with these 2mm foam pads, and I'm going to pop some on there. I'm hoping I've done it the right side. No, I haven't. So what I might be able to do, if those dots haven't quite settled down, get my glue eraser, those off. Because hens wouldn't be a video if hens didn't make an appearance. Right. Let's do that on the other side instead. There you go, like I say, you do get that little bit of wiggle room time, which is great for me at this on this occasion. So I don't want that, but I do want some more of these, and I just need to go down that edge where I was just now. these off. Again, as always, some tacky glue just to give me that little bit of wiggle room time. Just going to come in right about there. I am a bit over to the left. Just checking I can't see anything on that side. Yeah, I'm going to stay there. I'm a bit over to this left hand side, but I'm happy with that. So for this one, I think we'll use, let's use another 2mm piece up. And actually, I've got another piece in here I can see. There we go. And I can pop on there, and then I think I want that one on the back. I'll change my mind. And let's not cut that one up, let's cut one that's already cut. We will come in with this one. And pop some tacky glue on. And this one's going to go down in this corner. And then just as a finishing touch, I'm going to bring these clear sparkle ones out again, because I have got all different sizes in it. And if I grab my little tool, and then where in the centre of all these snowflakes, I'm just going to put a little gem. So I'm just going to go for these bigger and medium ones. Probably not going to get all of them, or a lot of them done. Right, we'll leave it at 5. Hens! 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 Shh! He's been hating the wind here, because I know my last video it just sort of started, and yesterday was very windy as well, and kept blowing the lids up on the bins, so to him it just sounded like somebody was messing about outside, so he was not very happy at all. Okay, I'm just wondering whether I want to pop, so we've got 5 there. I'm just going to take a slightly bigger one, and on the frame we've got big one there, big snowflake there, big snowflake there, and a big snowflake there. So I can take this slightly larger one. And this is going to bring us up to 9 gems. So I'm still on my odds. Come on. I have to let go. Come on. That's it. And that one was there. This must be a little bit sticky because I don't want to leave. Okay, and then what I can do is just use that tip there just to make sure they are in the middle. Oh, the glue dries clear, so I don't need to worry too much about that. But that is that. So that is my second card. So we've got that little faux stepper card with that piece. Like I say, brilliant for using up those odd bits, odd scraps of foiled cardstock, you know, all of those sort of things. And then I'm going to bring back in my 5x7 easel, and those are going to be the cards for today. Next time I come back, because this is all of the sort of main pieces of the actual kit. There is a page that I showed you before that's tags, and then there's another page which is like smaller toppers as well. So I'm not going to do any more with this kit, but there was in the ultimate pack a little book of Enchanted Christmas, so I'm going to have a little play with that next time, and we'll see what we can make with that, because I know you guys love ideas to use with the little books, sorry, the little books as well. Oh, that's where that gem went. So that's what we'll do next time. But thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you're having a good week, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye.